Hi, I'm Beth Cullen. I'm a fully qualified, insured and registered physiotherapist and group exercise class instructor. Welcome to this video on Baduanjin Qigong. It's a medical form of Qigong. When you exercise, you do this at your own risk. And of course, with me not being there with you, I'm not able to observe you and guide you. If you have any concerns about your suitability to exercise, please just get this checked with a relevant, suitable medical professional. When it comes to exercising, of course, are normal, and we do advise this in Qigong. Please don't do it if you're overly hot, overly cold, overly full, or really hungry. And of course, just check that the ground that you're doing it on is a level surface free of obstruction, because of course we are going to be stepping around. When it comes to this kind of practice, it's not about you aiming for perfection. It's about moving your body in a way that feels right for you. Please do adapt any movement at any time, whether that's changing a simple hand position or whether it's doing it in seated. You can, of course, stop at any time. Let's get started. We're going to start with a salute, which is all about respect. So for you, you're going to take your right hand into a fist for strength. You're going to place your left hand over the top with your thumb at the thenar eminence. That's humility. So we have strength, friendship and humility with the salute. Bringing our hands into the standing posture. This is a standing meditation, a common place to start. And this is a good place where we can check our positioning. From there, I'm going to start by stepping my feet with control to hip width across. Starting from the floor, just check in how that feels. So I've got my weight equally distributed between left and right. I have a slight bend in my knees. So what we don't want to do is lock out. Instead, it's a slight bend, which you'll find will slightly posteriorly tilt your spine. Bring your spine up tall and then set your shoulders back. Neck tall and chin level. This arm position, we want our spine tall, our elbows high, but our shoulders relaxed. So instead of being here, this position, slightly bracing your core, so a little bit of tension. My fingers are a fist-sized gap away from each other. Typically, you'd hold that somewhere for about 10 breaths. I'm not going to be too precise in how many we do of each. Generally, you do them in sets of 6. But for today, we'll do a few of each and see how much instruction I think you might need. Take a final breath in and out. And we're going to go to the first part of the Qigong brocade, which is hold in the sky with both hands. As I turn my palms down, I'm just going to float them gently down to the side, interlace through my fingers, rise up through the midline, and at that heart line, a really important meridian, which is an energy line, I'm going to turn up, press my palms up towards the ceiling, taking my eye gaze up with them, stretching up towards the ceiling, keeping a little bit of a bend in my elbows. Head comes down to center before I release my arms down to the side, letting my hands float down to the side. Something to remember here is that knee position. It's really easy just to lock out. It's only slight, but instead I want to keep a slight bend through my knees and through all my joints. So you'll notice here as I press up, I'm reaching tall, but I'm not quite locking out. So there's a difference between locking out, just a slight bend. Head down and release your hands down. And the reason we do this is for many reasons really. So first of all, it's about offloading the joints. And this is a general principle that we'd use in physiotherapy, is that you don't want to be locking out your joints because it's putting the force through your joints. Instead, we're going to keep them slightly bent, which also activates the muscles. For your knees, that's going to be your quadricep muscles in your thighs. So you may find them getting a little bit tired. And of course, if you need to rest, that's absolutely fine. With our breath, gently inhale up and exhale wide. You can, of course, change your breathing pattern. Your breath needs to be comfortable for you. A little option for your hands, for example, is if it doesn't feel comfortable to interlace your hands, just place them on top of each other. Think about lifting up, so we're expanding through lots of important energy points through your abdomen. and release down. Coming into the second pose, which is drawing the bow to shoot the vulture. I'm going to bring my left hand close in towards me, so it'll be your left hand. I'm going to shift across to the right. From there, I'm going to lift up my left leg, lifting from my knee, toes pointed down, and as I come down, it's a wide step out to the side, striking with my heel, opening up, drawing back my bow, shooting my index finger up to the sky to shoot the vulture. To release from there, I'm going to flatten my hands, so straighten them down towards the floor. As I turn that back arm, slicing through the air, I'm going to bring in my left foot, turn my head, transfer slowly. So I'm staying low as I transfer, stepping in with control into hip width. Left hand close to my body, shift across to the side, and as you've taken the weight across, it gives me that balance to be able to lift, strike out to the side, and open up. Back elbow is high, in line with your body, remembering that principle of relaxing your shoulders down. Fingertip up towards the ceiling, thumb out towards the side, opening out through my chest, and then straightening my hands, turning my palms down towards the floor, opening out through the back arm, turning the leading leg, turning my head, and drawing in. So there's a lot about control, about moving slowly. Shifting across. Here I like to inhale, exhale. That could be a smaller step, it could be a wider step. My weight distribution here is about 50-50. Of anything, I've got about 60% in the back leg, 40 in the front, so you're somewhere around there. Wide through your chest, making sure we don't exaggerate the movements. Drawing, so imagine pushing and pulling into that arrow pose. Release through the back hand, straighten up, open, and with control, step yourself in. I'm going to come a little bit closer as I do the next strike. So I would step out to show you the hand position. We're making a claw here. This hand, we're reaching up here. So index finger up towards the ceiling, thumb out towards the side. If that feels uncomfortable, there is a nerve stretch. We do have energy lines through here. Just change it a little bit. So think about it as that shooting that vulture up in the sky. Release out, drawing through the air, transferring in. Let's do one more on each side. Part of the whole essence of this is to learn how to move slowly and with control, with conscious effort. There is a layer of complexity with these moves. Now we're going to release, turn, slowly step in. And this is to make it a mindful practice, to bring our body and our mind into the movement. Release and transfer your weight in. About hip width, shoulder width apart, separating heaven and earth. Rising your left hand up. I'm going to turn through the hand, open up towards the ceiling and press. As I press, looking upwards towards the sky. Coming now down through the centre, looking for a line down through the centre. Turning at the midline, so this is a lot of energy points across this part in your chest. Keeping that palm flat up towards the ceiling, separating heaven and earth. So there's intention as I press without fully locking out, keeping that softness. This not only, as I said, offloads through the joints, but it also allows blood to flow better. And in terms of our energetic practice of Qigong, allows our Qi, our energy, to keep flowing. As you open up from the side, the arm in the front is a little bit further forward, keeping your body tall, following your eye gaze with the top hand. That palm is going to open up as if you're keeping it as flat as you can, pressing up towards the ceiling and down. So think about keeping that midline as we draw down. Once more. And to finish off that side, the other side, through the centre. And again, nice big inhale, looking to inhale down towards your diaphragm, deep into your belly, keeping your shoulders relaxed. Draw up and down through the centre. The wise owl gaze is back leaf for this. We're going to let our arms float down in front. Take a big step out to the side with control. Hands in front of you, spine tall. From there, I'm going to open up to the left, open up through my body, turn through my head, eye line down towards the floor, thumb pointing down, little finger pointing up and back to the centre. Turning your head, turning your arms. Arms float into the centre. And changing sides, opening out, open through your palms, through your arms, through your chest, keeping your chin level with the floor and back to the centre. Your hand position here is going to come out to the side, thumb down and little finger up. So there's lots of different energy lines of how the body flows. We're looking to open them out, to stretch them, to bring the body's attention to them. And of course, if that doesn't feel comfortable, you will find some of the movements will get more comfortable as you do them a little bit more regularly. And if it's not comfortable, of course, don't do it. It's not about you aiming for perfection. It is about moving your body in a controlled way, in line with these thousands years old movements. A final point for your eyes to think about. As we open out, we're getting that final turn through our eyes. So we're looking our eyes down over our shoulder, down towards the floor, keeping your chin level. So actually energy points down through our eyes of turning through our eyes, back to the centre. And think about that chest position. So I'm going to exaggerate it. Think a little bit about this position, opening out, but we're going to keep our body in neutral. We can link this as well to the vagus nerve. So you may have heard this in terms of the autonomic nervous system. It's a nerve that runs centrally down. From that, we're going to have a better posture, which helps it work more efficiently. Swaying the head and shaking the tail. I'm going to bring my legs a little bit wider out, my feet a little bit wider. Toes facing forward or out slightly, see what works for you. From here, you may want to watch this first before joining in. There's quite a lot going on. I'm going to shift my weight all across to the left side, looking for a straight line up through my body. My fingertips are down on my thighs to give myself a bit of support, and I'm going to fold down in half, drop my head down towards that leading foot. I'm going to keep looking at the leading foot as I now transfer my weight all the way across, keeping my head down. I'm looking towards the leading foot, coming all the way across the point where I felt a lovely opening out, stretching through my inner leg. From there, I'm going to lift up, round up through my spine, push up through my hips. I've got my hands on my thighs to control me up, and I've lifted up at an angle. And then going to shift across from the midline. I'm going to just shift across 1, 2, 3, and then to the other side. Shifting across, transferring my weight over. You'll find there's a lot of variety in these movements. If we are able to do these movements all nice and efficiently with strength and control, chances are we've got pretty good movement and control for the rest of our life. So our head is low as we're shifting all the way across. As we roll up, think about pushing up through your hips, lengthening up the strength through the side of our body and setting a lot of strength in our quads and those thigh muscles, lifting up. So shake of the tail, we're shifting from our shoulders, from our head, to just realign that energy and find that correct point through the tailbone. Shifting across, fold in half. Use your breath, transfer across with intention. Rounding up through your spine, realigning vertebrae by vertebrae up to the center. 1, 2, 3, and a final time over to the right. Transfer your weight, fold in half, feel that release down through your spine as you then come across, pushing all the way across through your legs. Lifting up through your spine, rounding up, and coming to the center. 1, 2, 3. From there, you're going to step yourself in, feet together. So we're going to miss out the final 2 poses. Usually you teach these in about an hour per pose, so there's a lot just to whiz through. From here, bouncing on the heel 7 times to cure the 100 diseases, but not necessarily bouncing 7 times. Lifting up to our heels and bouncing down. Inhale with a lift, arms are soft. Exhale, bounce into your heels, your knees, through your pelvis, soft through your spine, allowing that energy just settle back where it should be. Allowing your organs just the same to settle. And we'll do one more. Finishing again with the salute. Your right hand, strength, friendship, thumb, humility, and salute. Releasing down. So hopefully that has given you a little bit of practice that you've enjoyed. There is a couple more poses within that, but just to give you a little starting point of moving your body. Don't be worried to move your body. It is really natural. Adjust some movements if you need to. Hopefully you enjoyed that.